My name is Ethan Walker. I'm 35 years old, and until a year ago, I thought I had the perfect marriage. My wife, Lena, and I had been together for almost 10 years, married for 8. She was the kind of woman people described as captivating. Smart, funny, and beautiful in a way that made people turn their heads when she entered a room. I used to feel proud, lucky even, to call her mine. We met when we were both in college. I was studying architecture and she was in business administration. From the beginning, she was ambitious, always chasing success, always dreaming big. I admired that about her. I was more laid back, focused on creating, designing, and finding balance. She was a storm of energy, and somehow we balanced each other out. After we got married, we built a life together in Seattle. I started my own small architectural firm, and she joined a major marketing company. Her career took off fast. Promotions, travel, meetings, networking events. I was proud of her. I wanted her to succeed. But success changes people. It started subtly. She began spending more time at work. Late nights, business dinners, and last-minute trips became normal. I didn't think much of it at first. She was growing in her field, and I wanted to support her the way she had supported me when I built my firm. But something in her changed. At home, she became distant. Conversations were shorter, colder. The laughter that once filled our evenings was replaced by silence and the glow of her phone screen. She stopped sharing things about her day. When I asked how work was going, she'd respond with a distracted, "It's fine." Then came the business trip that changed everything. It was a 3-day trip to Los Angeles for a marketing conference. I remember how excited she sounded when she got the invitation. "It's a big opportunity," she told me. "My boss, Adrian, will be there too. It's a chance to really impress the clients." I didn't think anything of it at the time. I helped her pack, kissed her goodbye at the airport, and told her I loved her. She smiled, but there was something different in her eyes, a glint I couldn't quite place. The first night, she texted me as usual, saying she was tired and heading to bed early. The second night, she didn't message me at all. When I called, she didn't answer. Hours later, she sent a short text. "Sorry, meetings ran late. I'll call tomorrow. Love you." It was small, but something in my gut twisted. When she returned home, she looked different, refreshed, glowing, almost euphoric. She said the trip had gone great, that they'd landed a major client. I believed her, until I noticed something strange. Her perfume was different. It wasn't the brand she normally wore. It smelled new, stronger, almost exotic. When I asked, she brushed it off. "Oh, the hotel gave out samples. I just tried one." I didn't push, but that night, when she turned away from me in bed, pretending to sleep, I felt the distance between us like a canyon. Over the next few weeks, the pattern repeated. More trips, more late nights, more excuses. Her phone was now permanently glued to her hand. She started showering immediately after getting home. She changed her passwords. My instincts screamed that something wasn't right, but every time I tried to bring it up, she'd twist it into an argument. "You're paranoid, Ethan. You never used to be so controlling. It's just work. Why can't you trust me?" So I started doubting myself. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe I was just insecure. She was successful, beautiful, confident. Maybe I was just afraid of losing her. But then came the Friday night incident. She said she was going out with her coworkers to celebrate the end of a campaign. I told her to have fun. I even offered to drop her off, but she insisted on driving herself. Around midnight, I texted her to see if she was okay. No reply. 1 a.m. came and went. Still nothing. At 2:17 a.m., I heard the sound of her car pulling into the driveway. I watched through the window as she stumbled out of the car, laughing softly, phone in hand. She smelled of wine and expensive cologne. Not her perfume, not mine. When I asked how the night went, she said, "Just fun with friends," and went straight to the shower. Her dress was crumpled, her lipstick smudged, and she avoided eye contact. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, my chest tight, mind spinning. My heart wanted to believe her, but my instincts whispered otherwise. So I did something I never thought I'd do. The next morning, while she was in the shower, I checked her purse. I didn't want to, but I had to know. Inside, I found a hotel key card. It wasn't from any hotel near the bar she mentioned. It was from the Four Seasons downtown, one of the most expensive hotels in Seattle. My heart sank. When she got out, I asked casually, "So, which restaurant did you go to last night?" She hesitated for a split second before answering, "The Cove, near the waterfront." I nodded, pretending to believe her, but my mind was already racing. Later that day, I drove to the Four Seasons. My hands were trembling as I approached the front desk. "Hi," I said, trying to sound casual. "My wife was here last night, Lena Walker. She might have left something in her room." The receptionist smiled politely, typed a few things into the computer, and then frowned slightly. "I'm sorry, sir, but that reservation was under Adrian Cole, her boss." The world around me froze. I thanked her and walked out, my legs barely holding me up. The puzzle pieces finally aligned, painting a picture I never wanted to see. The business trips, the late nights, the perfume, the hotel. It all made sense now. Lena wasn't working late. She was spending her nights with her boss. I drove home in silence. Every memory, every laugh, every word we'd shared played in my head like scenes from a movie. Except now, they all felt fake, tainted. I didn't confront her that night. I couldn't. I needed proof, something undeniable. So I waited. Over the next week, I installed a small tracking app on her phone using the shared family account. I didn't want to be that kind of person, but I needed to see the truth with my own eyes. That Friday, she told me she had another late meeting. My stomach clenched. I checked the tracker. She wasn't at her office. She was at the Four Seasons again. This time, I didn't hesitate. I grabbed my keys and drove there, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst. When I reached the hotel, I parked across the street. I waited. Minutes felt like hours. Then I saw her, my wife, walking out of the lobby with Adrian beside her. They were laughing, close, his hand resting on her lower back like it belonged there. They stopped under the streetlight, and he leaned in, whispering something that made her smile, the kind of smile she used to give me. Then she kissed him, right there, in the open. I felt my stomach drop, my hand shaking on the steering wheel. The truth was no longer hidden behind screens and lies. It was real, alive, undeniable. I didn't confront them, not then. I drove home in silence, numb, every part of me collapsing inward. That night, I sat alone in the dark, staring at the wall. 10 years of love, trust, and loyalty, all erased in one kiss. But as the night turned to dawn, something inside me shifted. The pain turned into clarity. The heartbreak turned into resolve. If she could betray me so easily, she didn't deserve to see me break. She was about to learn what it meant to lose everything she took for granted. The morning after I saw them together, the world felt eerily quiet. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the half-empty cup of coffee in front of me, my thoughts circling endlessly. I had visual proof now. The image of my wife kissing her boss was burned into my memory. There was no more denial, no more excuses. When Linda came downstairs, she acted as though everything was normal. "Morning," she said, grabbing a piece of toast, smiling faintly. Her ease almost made me laugh. She had no idea what I knew. "Morning," I replied, forcing calm into my voice. "How was your meeting last night?" She looked up briefly. "Oh, it went late again. Adrian's trying to close a big deal with a new client." She smiled, shaking her head as if she were tired of the long hours. I just nodded. "That's good. I'm sure he appreciates your hard work." Something in my tone must have caught her attention because she gave me a quick glance, curious, cautious, but she said nothing. She just grabbed her purse and left for work, calling, "Don't wait up tonight." And that was the last time she left the house, believing I was still the clueless, trusting husband. That day, I made my move. First, I contacted a friend of mine, Mark, a private investigator. He was discreet, professional, and had helped one of my clients in a similar situation before. I gave him everything: names, schedules, phone numbers, and the hotel she always used. Within days, he confirmed everything I already knew, and much more. She and Adrian had been involved for nearly 6 months. Every business trip, every team dinner, every conference was an excuse to meet. He even booked rooms under his name to avoid suspicion. Mark sent me photos, messages, and call logs. The evidence was overwhelming. My wife's double life laid bare. I could have confronted her immediately, but I wanted her to feel the impact, the weight of what she'd done. So, I planned something careful, deliberate, and devastatingly calm. The following Friday, Lena said she had to fly to San Francisco for another marketing event. "Just 2 nights," she said casually, zipping her suitcase. "We'll be back Sunday morning." "We?" I asked. She froze for half a second, barely noticeable, then smiled. "Oh, I mean the team. You know, everyone's going." I nodded, pretending to be distracted. "Sure. Have a good trip." She leaned in, kissed me on the cheek, and left, the same lips that had kissed another man just nights ago. But this time, I didn't sit around waiting. I had already packed her bags, all her clothes, her accessories, even her favorite perfumes, and stored them in boxes in the garage. I canceled our joint credit cards, froze the shared accounts, and transferred my business funds into a separate account under my name. Then I made one final call to HR at her company. I had all the proof: the hotel records, the messages, the affair timeline, even a photo of her and Adrian together. It wasn't just infidelity, it was an ethical violation between a superior and a subordinate, a serious breach of corporate policy. When I emailed everything, I didn't write an angry message or emotional rant. I simply wrote, "To whom it may concern, please find attached evidence of an ongoing inappropriate relationship between your regional director, Adrian Cole, and marketing manager, Lena Walker. This has been occurring during work hours and at company-sponsored events. I thought it would be appropriate for the company to be aware of such conduct." And I hit send. The fallout was immediate. By the next evening, I received a call from Mark. "You won't believe this," he said, chuckling. "Her boss just got suspended. HR's doing a full investigation." I didn't reply, just exhaled slowly. It wasn't joy or revenge I felt. It was closure. When Lena returned home on Sunday, she was frantic. I could hear her phone buzzing nonstop as she pulled into the driveway. The moment she walked in, I saw panic written all over her face. "Ethan," she said, dropping her bag, "something's happened at work. Adrian's in trouble. Someone reported him, and they're saying—" "That he was sleeping with his employee?" I interrupted, my voice calm, deliberate. "That he used company trips to cover personal affairs?" Her eyes widened. You knew?" I nodded slowly. For a while now. She froze, color draining from her face. Ethan, I can explain. No, I cut her off. You can't explain cheating. You can't explain betrayal. You can only live with it. She stepped closer, her voice trembling. I made a mistake. Please, we can fix this. I pointed to the boxes stacked by the door. Your things are there. I canceled our joint accounts. The house is under my name, and I've already spoken to a lawyer. Tears filled her eyes. Ethan, please, I love you. It didn't mean... Don't, I said sharply. Don't insult me with lies. You loved the thrill, the attention, the power. You didn't think about me. You didn't think about what we built. She tried to touch my hand, but I stepped back. Her tears turned desperate, her words tumbling out incoherently. I was stupid. I thought it was harmless. I didn't think it would go this far, but it did. And now you have to live with it. For a long moment, silence hung between us. Then she whispered, They fired him. Adrian's gone. My career is over. I looked at her, unflinching. You traded your marriage for a man who wouldn't even protect you. That's the life you chose. She stood there sobbing quietly, realizing that the foundation of her perfect image had completely collapsed. Without another word, she picked up her bags and walked out. The following weeks were strange, quiet, empty, but peaceful. I expected to feel regret or sorrow, but instead, I felt clarity. I wasn't angry anymore, just done. My friends and family, when they found out, were shocked. Most of them said they never saw it coming. I hadn't either, not really. But now looking back, the signs were all there. I just didn't want to see them. One night, about a month later, I got an email from Lena. It was long, emotional, and filled with apologies. I don't expect forgiveness, she wrote. I just want you to know that I lost everything because of what I did. Adrian left me, I lost my job, I ruined the only person who ever truly cared about me. I think about you every day. I read it once and closed it. I didn't reply. Because some things don't deserve closure through words. Some endings are meant to be quiet, final, and absolute. Months passed. I rebuilt my life slowly, focused on my work, took new projects, traveled more, and found comfort in solitude. For the first time in years, I felt peace. People often talk about revenge as if it's something loud, fiery, destructive. But the real revenge is silence, the absence of reaction. Watching someone face the reality of their own choices without you lifting a finger. That's what Lena got. Her own reflection. She lost her job, her reputation, and the man she thought she loved, all because she couldn't see the value of what she already had. And I gained something far greater. Freedom. One evening, almost a year later, I was walking along the pier downtown, where we used to go on dates. The sunset painted the water orange and gold, and for the first time, it didn't hurt to be there. A soft breeze brushed my face as I realized something profound. Sometimes the people who betray you are the ones who teach you the most valuable lessons about self-respect, boundaries, and strength. I had loved her deeply, truly, but her betrayal had freed me from the illusion of perfection I once lived under. And now I was whole again, not because I found someone new, but because I found myself. A few months later, I received a final text from an unknown number. It was Lena. I saw your latest project in the paper. You're doing amazing things. I'm happy for you, truly. You deserve all of it. I'll always regret what I did. I stared at the message for a while, before locking my phone and setting it down. There was nothing left to say. I wasn't the broken man she left behind. I was someone stronger, wiser, and untouchable by her past. Sometimes losing someone you love isn't the end. It's the beginning of becoming who you were meant to be.